So Ninja Kiwi keeps beating down the tier 5 Megalodon and BT6, and guys, is this tower still good enough? Like, I'm aware that the Megalodon was outperforming by a huge margin for sure, and Ninja Kiwi is as well, and they're trying to do something about it. And so in the latest update, actually it's been the past 2 updates, I'm saying it in that way, that they're beating down this tower, because this is not their first time nerfing the Megalodon. Actually, they've been going at it for a while now. So the changes actually happening to the Megalodon are very simple in this update to contextualize. In the previous update, they took away some attack speed from it, and now in this update, they're taking away some damage. So the damage goes from 7 to 600, and then the damage scale goes from 1.4 to 1.2k. So with that being said, we are gonna actually attempt something that you guys might have seen before. This is going to be a test that I did after the previous update's nerfs, where we just try to beat an elite Bloonarius entirely by only using the top bet fish and the Megalodon by itself. If you guys have watched that video, well, I guess it's been a while, so I can tell you what happened. Even after those nerfs in the last update, the Megalodon actually did beat an entire elite Bloonarius start to finish by itself. And that was crazy, and that basically meant that the nerfs happening in the previous update weren't exactly that strong to begin with. So let's do the exact same thing. Let's see if we can still do it after these nerfs, and if not, then well, that's gonna be a huge change, I guess, because the Megalodon, well, it can no longer solo a boss, and that would be huge, and that would finally mean that Ninja Kiwi's nerfs are working. So I'm gonna get to farming, and I'm gonna see you guys in a second. Alright, so here's how everything is looking. We're in round 38, and we have only 3 marketplaces. I even upgraded this thing to a plantation. He's connected to the Regrow Bananas Banana Farmer Pro. We have a favorite trades boat in order to sell these marketplaces. I guess only if necessary, actually. I'm gonna try not sell anything. I don't want to destroy our farming, and let's make sure we're buying this guy in the range of the discount village to have it like this. We're also gonna get the jungle jumps as well, by the way, for the extra attack speed. And in comes the boss. Alright, so 50k HP. We're gonna start with the Orca, and then I think we're gonna need to get some basic attack speed buffs, essentially. So we're talking jungle jumps. We can use a Zeely's Totem, by the way, which does work on the shark, and that's the exact reason why we're running a Zeely. And if it's still not enough, then maybe we can, I guess, get some beast power onto our Orca. But let me just target the shark here on strong, just get some initial damage going onto the boss. This is gonna take a while for sure, the tier 1, but I know for a fact that we can beat the tier 1 because there were no changes happening to the Orca fish. So, you know, this thing can actually do it. It's just gonna take a little bit of time, is what I'm saying. And then honestly, I mean, I wouldn't even mind buying an overclock, which can go here again in the discount. The overclock is going to be nice later on for whatever farm we're using, by the way, so I don't exactly mind this. Let's use the sacrificial totem again, and the money for the overclock should be there in a second. This should amp up our damage by a lot. Alright, so how's it looking? Round 49, this is going to be a late pop, so let's make sure we're farming. I'm going to buy a BRF. Let's reconnect this thing because I know there's a little bit of a bug going on with this. I'm not sure if it's with the Banana Intelligence VR or what, but I had it happen once where I had, and it showed the indicator that it was connected to a farm, but it wasn't producing the regrow crates. Alright, so round 54, this is the last skull, so let's go like this, move this guy to strong. A lot of small balloons as well, so we need to be careful. I'm going to use one last sacrificial totem, and yeah, hopefully 55 is the round to which we end this thing off. We only have 5 more rounds until the next tier of boss arrives. Keep in mind, we need to buy the Megalodon for the tier 2 for sure. Alright, so 57, the goal is to get a Banana Essential before the next tier of boss. I know it's going to be a little bit tight, but I guess we can delay the purchase of the Megalodon if we can get the Banana Essential. We can also sell of these 3 farms, which sell for about 18k. And I think once we hit about 60k cash, we can sell all 3 of these guys here down bottom, and that should be about enough cash for the Banana. Yeah, there we go, right on the money, 200 bucks left. Alright, so now this is where the actual, you know, cash generation starts coming in. I'm just gonna reconnect this thing again just to be safe. Alright, so in comes the tier 2. Let's get the Megalodon now, because this is just not gonna work with with only the Orcas. So I'm just gonna buy a couple of these guys. It's gonna be the third tier 4. Alright, so in comes the Megalodon in a second, and I guess, well, this is the new Megalodon, right, for sure, but one thing that we're not gonna be doing is we're not gonna be over buffing it, because we know that this guy can beat the tier 2 with the proper buffs, right? I mean, it surely is. It's just that I think we want to be a little bit careful with the amount of buffs that we're giving, so it's appropriate, you know, to in a way reflect the tier of boss with the damage that we're doing. doing. So for example, this is just like a base Megalodon, which is absolutely doable, you know, in any other circumstance. And you know what, I'm actually not even gonna overclock it because I don't think overclocking it is necessary. I'm just gonna keep overclocking the Banana Central, and actually I'm just gonna keep buying some farms because it looks like this is not even going to be close. I have the Shark set on first, by the way, and it's dealt so much damage to the boss by just targeting basically everything else but the boss at this point. Let's get in a strong for a second. Let's see how much damage we're actually doing to the boss. Yeah, this is insane, guys. This is still very, very strong versus the tier 2 boss even after the nerfs. So if you were using it for the tier 2 boss, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. This is a base Megalodon, which is only getting buffed by Jungle Jumps Village. That's it. Alright, so very, very easy clear on the tier 2. I mean, not even close. Let me just keep buying some farms so we have the money for the other stuff, because we do intend on buying a lot of other things. I mean, we have such a long way to go in buffing this guy. We're talking Ultra Boost, we're talking, you know, the true Sun God buffs. We need to merge it up, we need to give it a bunch of abilities, you know, the Homeland and the Call to Arms, so very long way to go ahead of us. But yeah, tier 2 not even close, even after the nerfs. Alright, so in comes the tier 3 boss, and we have done a couple of things. I bought the Energizer so we get the cooldown reduction on basically the Ultra Boost, and I've set this guy to keep Ultra Boosting the Megalodon. Now we're currently at only 6 stacks. We're obviously going up to 10. I'm gonna keep this guy on first to start things off, and then I think we want to get some additional beast power, I was thinking. So let me get this guy. This is gonna be, how much are we currently at? 116 out of 132. Let's get one more. Alright, this is gonna be the last one. So we're at max beast power. We've got that covered so far. How's it looking, by the way, with the damage and everything? The first H bar seems to be done in the first skull. Let's use the Azili Sacrificial Totem now. Give it a little bit of extra attack speed for sure. How are we doing with the stacks? We're at 8 stacks. Yeah, this seems definitely plausible, you know, for a normal game to have this sort of a setup for the tier 3 boss, right? And you know what? I'm gonna switch this guy to strong just for a second, just so we kind of get a taste of how much damage we're doing per jump with the Megalodon to the boss. He seems to be doing fine. We also seem to be having a little bit of an issue with the spawn balloons because the map is kind of a mess. So maybe from time to time we're gonna keep switching it on first, like right now, because I see some ceramics. There we go. Just clean out the map a little bit. Alright, I'm gonna be honest, this is still really strong, guys. It's like it wasn't even nerfed, because it has like some mediocre buffs. I mean, for sure, if you went a little bit harder with the farming, you can go even better with the buffs. But I think for around 80 setup, I mean, Ultra Boost, and then what else do we have? Is Azili Totem and the Jungle Drums? I mean, this is just destroying the boss still, no problem, and it's like not even close. It's only popping into like 4 rounds since it came out. It's 84, by the way. Yep, I think it's pretty safe to say that these nerfs have still not impacted the Megalodon, maybe for the other tiers. And keep in mind, we still have a very, very long way to go in buffing this guy and just getting some other damage amplification stuff. So one of those things is going to be the Glue Storm ability. We can also get some Ice Towers, which I am actually going to do. Let's have like one of the Ice Towers like this. This is going to be, I'm going to basically place a bunch of embrittlements around the map because they do stack with the Super Bill. And now for the next tier of boss, I was thinking we'd do just a Sun Temple, just a support Sun Temple, which actually does work. All the buffs that it gives, they do work onto the fish. So let's start off like this. We have some money here spent on these farms, but let's just add something like this to make sure that we're over the 50k threshold. Let's just give it a little extra. We're gonna absorb something else, aren't we? Oh, we're not actually. That's really good. We're making sure we're buying a support temple, by the way, which doesn't exactly do a lot of attack damage, but does provide buffs. And here's the problem: it doesn't reach the Beast Handler Tower by a tiny bit. Let's try and do this. Then we're gonna give it a Perbrew, and we are gonna give it a village. And now let's see if it's gonna be able to. Yeah, there we go. We get the buff finally. All right, guys. Tier 4 on the field. We have our setup updated by a little bit. So we've got the Super Bill. We have the Glue Storm for the damage amplification. We're gonna hold off on the Cripple Mod because I don't think we are going to need it. And let's see if we can actually do it right now. So let's use the Sacrificial Totem in combination with the Glue Storm ability. And how is the damage looking? Alright, this guy is doing a lot of damage still. It's a little bit slower than the tier 3, obviously, but it just slipped my mind that I forgot a very important tower. So I'm gonna sell, I guess we can sell these farms because we no longer need them. But we should be buying the Call to Arms and the Homeland abilities, actually, which completely slipped my mind. These guys fully work on the Megalodon, and I'm gonna buy some tech bots so we don't have to manually use these abilities. We're gonna start things off by using the homeland, and then as soon as the homeland expires, we're gonna hook up another tech bot to the call to arms, and now let's see the damage along with the sacrificial totem. By the way, I do have this thing set on strong, so no one is attacking. Well, I guess the temple is attacking first, but it's not exactly doing a lot of damage. Yeah, and let's see how we're doing. I mean, the damage is just skyrocketing, guys. This is not even close, huh? Let's use the call to arms now. I'm clicking on this guy now, and so this is the, I guess it's kind of a mess, but I think you guys can see the range of the fish, give or take, and so we can do something about this, is what I'm saying. So I'm gonna dump the glue storm ability, and I'm gonna buy a couple of mid-path desperados actually for the extra range. Yeah, so definitely going a little bit slower than last time, but guys, come on, the damage is definitely there. Let me use the second desperado ability, by the way, hook it up to a tech bot so it automatically does its thing. Let me get the glue storm going. We have a couple more things to do actually. We can buy the true sun god, which we will for the next year, and we also are missing the cripple Moab. Maybe something else. Am I missing something else? I feel like there's something else to do, but I'm not remembering it. Yeah, definitely. I mean, if this tower got nerfed again up to the tier 4, it's still nowhere to be seen. It's like around 109 and it still has the damage. It's not exactly even close, I want to say. And this is, in my opinion, a realistic setup. Like, whenever you've reached, you know, past round 80, or let's say just round 100, whatever it is, like, you have the money to do basically whatever you want in BT6. So what I'm saying is, this is not an unrealistic setup to have for this specific time in the game. And yeah, there goes the tier 4. I mean, that wasn't even close. So I guess it's just gonna be the final showdown, guys. Can he still beat the tier 5? Okay, so let's get it going. I'm first off going to be selling some towers. Let's sell the Permabrew and the village so that we can reduce the range of this temple. And now we can actually just buy another support tower, and now buy the true sun god so that we don't exactly destroy the farming here on the side and the other towers don't get absorbed. Let's go like this, get the epic range, and now, yeah, there we go. We get both of the buffs. And what else is there to do? I mean, actually, you guys know what? I think it's time to sell all of these farms because I don't think we're gonna be needing them anymore. Yeah, let's just leave all these damage amplification towers now. So let's buy the super bill. We could also be buying this, the cripple Moab, which we're going to set on strong, so it only focuses now the boss. We can actually upgrade the glue storm. Instead of 0.52, we can go for 2.50, which adds a +1 damage actually. Yeah, going for max efficiency over here for sure. And then is there something else that we're missing? I mean, I guess maybe a mer monkey, which I guess the Lord of the Abyss, which is going to give it a little bit of pierce, I think. And guys, this is it. I think we're pretty much maxed out as far as I can tell. Maybe we can just automate the setup a tiny bit more, so maybe just get something like a tech bot for the glue storm ability. Oh, actually, let's get a tech bot for Zeely's abilities as well. Just get the sacrificial totem going off cooldown, and this is it. This is gonna be the one. All right, so these are all the buffs. I think we're fine. I think we've covered all the bases, if I'm not mistaken. So 10 ultra boost stacks, jungle drums. We have the homeland going, both temple buffs. I mean, this is just the extra range from the desperado, and then the Lord of the Abyss buff. I don't think we're missing anything. I think it would just, you know, just watch and see if this guy can actually do it. Let me just check the temple, the true sun god pops actually before we start. So yeah, it's not doing a lot of damage for sure. It's gonna help a little bit maybe versus these other balloons. I have it set on first, so he is specifically attacking the balloons that are going past the boss and not exactly focusing the boss as much. Yeah, the Megalodon set on strong, and let's just see how everything goes. So 23 million pops. He is doing a huge, still doing a huge amount of damage, by the way, each time he jumps. We can actually keep moving the super bill as the boss is moving along, and we should also buy some small embrittlements, so maybe one like this and one like this. So the boss is going down now, so let's sell the super bill in the middle. Let's rebuy it like this, and then also get a 4-0 embrittlement as well. And yeah, so previously, if I remember correctly, we beat it on round 134, 135. So definitely this is going to be a long one. Like, this is gonna take a while. I mean, come on, it's like 40 million HP, but is the nerf going to be enough to stop it? And I'm actually gonna do one thing, which is going to be just protect the exit at this point, because there's some very fast DDTs walking around. So I'm just gonna buy, like, I don't know, like a super mines, and then maybe like a perma spike here at the back, which is gonna be away from the boss. I just need these guys to stop some DDTs and whatever, you know, these fast balloons. Depending on where we're at currently, do you guys think he has it? I don't know, 129 halfway through. I mean, I guess after this skull it's like 3 skulls left, but the HP is literally at the half point. I don't know, it's gonna depend a lot on the underlying rounds and how fast they're coming out. So maybe if we can stall the rounds, maybe we're gonna buy a little bit more time for him. But now the question is, do we want to do that? Do we actually want to stall the rounds for him so we buy him a little bit more time? You guys know what? I think it would be only fair if we don't do that. Yeah, let's just see if he can do it by himself. So 3 skulls left. We're actually gonna have 2 skulls left after this one. He's still on strong, by the way, so that tells us a very important thing, and it's that this latch AoE that it does is still too much damage for all of these summons and the insides. Alright, so it's 135, 1 skull left, and actually this is where the nerfs are coming in, because previously I think we had popped the boss by this point. So yeah, definitely a little bit weaker than last time. But you guys know what? I mean, we're going to we're defending 135, we're entering 136. I mean, how much have these nerfs changed, actually? It's still gonna be super close, but we have like 4 rounds until we lose. And guys, he is actually going to do it again. That is ridiculous. So wait, these nerfs basically just moved the pop time by like 2 rounds. Yeah, it was 130, let's say it was 134.5, and now it's 137 that we're popping the tier 5 boss. So definitely has been nerfed, and we can see it in the numbers, but he can still barely do it with about 3 rounds left over. That is nuts how good this tower still is. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.